video, we're going to talk about a self-defense tool or self-defense weapon, improvised, that you can take with you just about anywhere and you can use no matter what your training is. It's a very, very simple weapon. And I know I was watching Jason Hansen, who's that CIA guy. He says, "Hi, I'm Jason Hansen." I'm sure you guys have seen him. He's been around forever. Great information. You know, he's from this, was in the CIA, I guess, and from his CIA perspective and being a spy, I suppose, is what he's talking about. He was talking about in one of his videos, or a couple of them, this tool, and you and I have talked about this a lot. This has been around long before Jason Hansen from the CIA, and probably long before the CIA. Just basically some nuts on some rope on a string, and it's great. You can take it anywhere you go. Found this new one for the collection. I'm going to add that. Hey, Doug, it's good to see you. But I was thinking, what's more effective than some hex nuts, or in this one, a square nut? I keep finding these things. These are awesome. They're so heavy. I'm going to add this to my collection. What's better than this for self-defense? Improvised self-defense tool you can take with you anywhere you go, everywhere you go. More effective than this, I think, is an old standard. This one, I'm sure, has been around even longer than some nuts on a string, longer than CIA Jason Hansen and his videos that have been out about that kind of stuff. And again, I'm a big fan. I think he does a great job describing how those work. But I was watching him. It just popped up on my feed, probably because I've done the video several times. I hadn't really watched it. I was aware that he had done one. Someone sent it to me, but I hadn't seen it yet. So I watched it, and I thought, this big beefy chain, which is so much heavier. And I want to talk about how you might use this. This one could save your life. How you might use this in self-defense by itself and or with a brass padlock or any kind of padlock. And I put a link in the description if you need to get one online, or you can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, any do-it-yourself store, and pick up some chain and a lock. And the reason these are so effective and that you can take them anywhere you go, why it's an improvised self-defense tool, is you can tell people it's your bike chain. You are going to pick up your bike and you need to lock it once you're done with it, or you rode your bike and you forgot to lock it, that's why you have it, or you tell them it's for your storage locker, or you tell them that it's for work. You have some equipment that you use that you don't want to get stolen. When you're done with it, you lock it up, and that's why you have it on you. I'm going to tell you how you might carry it too for self-defense. But first, I want to talk about how you would use it. And by itself, we could think about wrapping the hand. And I tried this because I thought, you know, I've never done this. I haven't seen other people do it, but wrap the hand and then punch someone with it. And so I punched the bag a bunch, and my knuckles are pretty much dead to pain. Not impervious to pain, but I don't feel much because I've deadened the nerves over the years of hitting things over and over and over again. And even with that, I don't think this is a good idea. So I wouldn't wrap it and smash somebody in the face with it. I don't think it's going to be that effective. I think you use this best as a flail. So you would double it over, or you could even hold it, wrap it around one hand like this, and then use the long part of it, the length, to give yourself some striking distance. So if somebody has a blade, a knife, they're coming at you, they're trying to slab or slash or stab, you can create some distance and go for a knockout. Try to hit them in the head or keep them back so they can't close the distance and stab you to death or slash you up. So you have some advantage with that, with the length of the chain. You could also hold it like this and then hold this between your fingers, and as you swing, opening up your fingers, allow this to come together and come out of your hand and smash them. Yeah, Doug says together these will have tremendous impact. You could also hold it by the ends this way and either wrap it and then swing with the short part of it. You're still going to hit with a lot of force if they're close, or holding here and swinging, and now you have that long length again, you have that distance, but you're hitting with the chain doubled up. And I'm not sure exactly how much this weighs, but it's not light. It's pretty substantial, and this could probably knock somebody out if you have good contact with one of their vital spots, either into the neck or into the temple or up here in the jaw. You might be able to knock them out or knock them back. Hi, Debbie. Debbie says, great idea. Thanks, Debbie. If you attach your lock. This helps with explaining to people that you carry it because you use it to lock up your bike, to lock up some tools that you use for your job, to lock up your storage locker, to lock up your shed at the house, or in your garage, to lock the storage unit in the garage. A lot of people have those little extra storage. Like I had an apartment, old apartment, and down in the garage, shared garage, I had my own little cage where I could put my boxes and stuff from the move, the extra stuff. And then I had this, and that's actually where this came from. I had it all locked up with this chain, nice and beefy chain with a big brass lock. Of course, you take the key out and you'd have that on your keychain. So now you can hold it here and swing it this way, and this adds a lot more weight because it's brass, it's solid brass, and it's nice and solid, so it becomes a striking surface for self-defense. And so you could use this effectively as you swing it like a flail, and you would swing all your basic angles the same way you would fight with a stick. You could swing this chain and be very effective. I also can see where you would take this and throw this in the bottom of like a cinch sack or your rucksack or your backpack, whatever you call it, your book bag, and you put this in the bottom of it. So now you have this weight, and you would hold that backpack or that cinch sack by its handles, and if somebody's coming in, you just swing that thing. So you have that big thick piece of material, that big bag, and you're holding on to the the things that go around your shoulders, the straps, and then you're swinging it, and you strike them, and you go for the jaw, you go for the temple, you go for the neck, whatever you can remove or destroy, and you can knock somebody out. You hit somebody with this in the bottom of a bag into their temple, into their jaw, into that neck, or maybe they're coming at you with that hand to punch, to grab, to stab, to choke or slash, and you smash that hand. That can knock the knife out of their hand. That can push them back a little bit. Thank you, Doug, for that super sticker, that super chat. Very much appreciated. And that's just another way you could carry it. So now you don't have to have it on you. There was a time when we used these, and I used this one here, and when I did a improvised self-defense class, and I would come in at the beginning of the second session, and I would be wearing this as a belt, and I would like I'm some tough dude. But it holds up your pants. It's just heavy. It doesn't hold them up that well because it starts pulling them down. But you could wear it as a belt, I suppose. I was just thinking of ways that you could carry it if you didn't have a backpack. But most of us walk around, especially if we're traveling or if we're on the subway or on the bus, or you're walking, down the street to or from where you live, to or from where you go to school, where you work, and you might carry. I have different backpacks depending on what I'm doing. I either have book bag, I have like a nice looking professional backpack when I'm dressed up and I'm going in to give a presentation, and then I have my everyday military style backpack. And yeah, William says the chain belt, you look like Mr. T. You can wear around your neck. If I saw a commercial or an ad driving. It reminded me. It had the clock. It was Flavor Flav. It was for Raisin Canes. I've never tried it, but I've seen those places popping up everywhere. But you can wear it around your neck if you wanted. Just make sure someone doesn't come up and grab it from behind. We were talking about how there have been these attacks recently. One down here in Miami about 2 years ago, a guy pulled his shoelaces out, tried to grab a girl. She fought back. Always fight back. That's the point. She was able to knock him off of her. She had a little bit of help from a guy, but he didn't add much help. But her fighting back, much bigger guy, hardened criminal, an immigrant. He was a Venezuelan from the prison. He was an offender, and he meant to do horrible stuff to her. And he grabbed her from behind with his shoelaces. He put his shoe up behind her, took his shoelace off. She was sitting on a bench, and he started pulling. She fought back, and she got out. So always fight back. Yeah, John says leather belt with a big buckle. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. This is my concealed carry belt, or when I'm wearing a nice suit and I'm concealed carry, then I need a nice leather belt. I don't wear the one that I'm wearing now, and this would be very effective. But even this doesn't even come close to the power of this for self-defense, because it's so much heavier. And then with that added, again, like I said, take the key out, but that added padlock makes it hit so much harder. So you can do a lot of damage with this improvised self-defense tool. This might just save your life if you needed to and you didn't have another option. We went yesterday to Fort Lauderdale. We went on to the Navy ships. It's like Fleet Week here. They were in town, kind of like a Fleet Week, but a miniature version of it. Took a tour, took the kids on. We went through multiple layers of security. So you have to have, security to get through into the port, and then Homeland Security was there, the sheriffs were there, the Navy had their own security, Marines were there, they had their security, Coast Guard was there, they had security. So I felt very safe in that environment. Everything was they were highly paying attention. And in that case, I went through metal detector. I can't carry any of my self-defense tools. I don't know if I would have been able to get through with this or not. So I'm not going to say that this would have been effective in that situation. But I do know that if I'm taking public transportation and I ride my bike there and I throw this bike chain, then in some places you can take this with you. So like I said, you throw it in the bottom of the bag, and then if they're questioning you, what's it for? Obviously, if you have the lock on it, it makes the argument even stronger. This is your bike lock. This is the lock for your storage locker. This is what you lock your tools up when you get done working every day and you need it for your job. And obviously it's not. Yeah, and if you go through the airport, Williams says maybe that's a self-defense pin. Self-defense pins, very effective. We know one of the best things you can carry into all airports, if you're comfortable with it, is a walking cane. A walking cane for self-defense is my number one go-to when I can't carry my gun, when I can't carry a knife.